ASEAN leaders meeting successful in addressing Myanmar crisis. Over 9,000 senior citizens received first vaccine dose. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jessica Lee. Welcome to Updates at Noon. The ASEAN leaders meeting yesterday has succeeded in addressing the Myanmar crisis. Now, ASEAN constructively engaged with Senior General Min Aung Hlaing of Myanmar, the junta chief, at the meeting held at the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin said Myanmar accepted all the three proposals put forward by Malaysia in tackling the crisis. First, to de-escalate the situation on the ground and stop the killing and violence against civilians. Second, to release political detainees promptly and unconditionally. Third, to allow the ASEAN Chair and ASEAN Secretary General to have access into Myanmar, including to all the parties concerned.
Pengurusi memberikan peluang kepada Jeneral ni untuk berespon dan eloknya dia tidak menolak apa yang telah pun dikemukakan oleh saya dan juga ramai rakan-rakan lain tentang perkara yang disebutkan tadi. Malahan dia kata dia bersetuju untuk menerima wakil ataupun envoy daripada ASEAN untuk datang ke sana di waktu yang sesuai. An appropriate time, suitable time, kata dia. Jadi dia tak tolak, tak halang. Jadi ini memberikan satu peluang untuk ASEAN memainkan peranan utama dalam mencarikan penyelesaian pada krisis yang sedang melanda di Myanmar ini.
Apart from the three proposals by Malaysia, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said Myanmar also agreed to proposals by other ASEAN countries, including humanitarian assistance and national reconciliation efforts in settling the crisis. Tan Sri Muhyiddin also said the outcomes of the meeting proved some critics wrong that the regional grouping did not do anything in addressing the crisis.
ASEAN akan berperanan. Maknanya kita pasal banyak negara-negara seperti US ke ataupun Eropah sebagai berpendapat bahawa kita harus berperanan dan mereka fikir kita tidak membuat apa-apa. Hari ini terbukti itu adalah tidak benar. Kita concern apa yang berlaku dan kita sudah mengambil langkah dengan mesyuarat summit yang kita adakan pada hari membuat keputusan-keputusan yang bijaksana dan terbaiklah ada pihak daripada Myanmar yang mengatakan mereka bersedia untuk menerima wakil kita ke sana untuk melihat situasi dan keadaan yang ada.
A total of 9,916 senior citizens nationwide have received the first dose of the vaccine under the second phase of the National COVID-19 Immunisation Programme so far. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Datuk Sri Rina Mohamad Harun said all those who had been vaccinated were reported to be in good condition.
Dan ini dijalankan secara berperingkat ya, dan ini juga merupakan keprihatinan kerajaan terhadap golongan yang berisiko tinggi seperti warga emas, OKU ya, yang bersakit kronik dan sebagainya. Alhamdulillah ianya berjalan dengan baik dan saya menyeru kepada warga emas yang lain agar terus mendaftarkan diri ya melalui aplikasi MySejahtera ataupun melalui dari pusat-pusat kesihatan daerah dan juga melalui sukarelawan kita yang ada.
Datuk Sri Rina was met after presenting financial assistance for the annual operation of the Northern Zone Senior Citizens Activity Centres or PAWE 2021 in Sungai Petani. Meanwhile, she said it was estimated that between 8,000 to 10,000 senior citizens who were in institutions, including old folks' homes, will receive the vaccination after this. The Communications and Multimedia Ministry, or KKMM, will not interfere in the investigation against activist Fahmi Reza and will leave it to the police to investigate. Its Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah said the investigation was conducted following a police report regarding the activist's social media posting, which allegedly involved the Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria. The minister stressed that the Perikatan Nasional government is committed towards press freedom, including social media. But at the same time, there are existing laws that regulate certain things such as fake news and sedition. Met after presenting Ramadan donations to the persons with disabilities in Kuantan, he advised people to be careful when posting on social media as it may be sensitive in terms of culture, religion and so on. The majority of social media users in Malaysia, according to Datuk Saifuddin, are good and ethical when posting something related to their family, friends and their opinions about certain issues. The Indra Makota MP also expressed hope that the community would observe ethics when using social media, especially during the month of Ramadan. The Malaysian National Film Development Corporation, or FINAS, is going to the ground in an effort to reduce the bureaucracy of applying for the Malaysian Creative Industry Stimulus Package, or PRISMA Fund. Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah said among the initiatives taken was the Community at FINAS, or COFI program, which enables funds to be channeled more quickly to new talent to produce creative content such as short videos and documentaries for digital platforms. Through COFI, the ministry plans to go down to each state by organising workshops for applicants before they pitch their ideas to FINAS. And this is followed by the evaluation process and the issuance of fund offer letters. The minister said the implementation period of this funding method is within about 3 weeks, where previously the process took at least 3 months.
Program ini adalah program di mana FINAS turun padang dan kita akan pergi ke setiap negeri. Pahang adalah negeri yang pertama. Dan tujuan utama mengadakan program Community at FINAS ini ialah kita ingin merakyatkan filem dan kerja-kerja pembikinan filem. Tapi ada banyak genre lah, tidak semesti hanya filem, boleh juga dokumentari, boleh video pendek, drama dan sebagainya.
He said this after handing out offer letters for Prisma microfinancing worth a total of 1.5 million ringgit for digital content to 116 individuals in conjunction with the FINAS Production Management Division's outreach program in Kuantan. Meanwhile, Datuk Saifuddin also encouraged creative industry players to produce national theme films that highlighted elements of culture and religion for the purpose of promoting Malaysia. Up next, anti-counterfeit goods operations to be stepped up in festive season. The Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, or KPDNHEP, enforcement operation against the sale of counterfeit goods will be stepped up during the festive season. Its Deputy Minister, Datuk Rossul Wahid, said despite the focus on the implementation of the 2021 festive season maximum prices control scheme, enforcement operation against selling counterfeit goods are still being carried out. Datuk Rossul said the operation and inspection against the sale of counterfeit goods are not only focused at the wholesale and business areas such as Jalan Tuanku Abdul Rahman, TAR and Jalan Petaling, but also at boutiques.
Ada yang didapati bahawa barang ni dijual di butik-butik. Jadi ini dia beli barang palsu tapi dengan harga yang original. Ini lagi bahannya lagi teruk. Macam palsu tapi jual di premis yang sebenar dengan harga RM10,000, maka ini satu penipuan yang memang sukar untuk nak dimaafkan.
Datuk Rossul was met after launching the Advocating Smart Consumers and #Shopping Street Jalan Tar program in Kuala Lumpur. Commenting on the program, he said Jalan Tar was picked because it is the location of focus or shopping heaven for the local community, especially during the festive seasons. The Congress of Unions of Employees in the Public and Civil Services, or QPACS, has urged various quarters, including the public and non-government organizations or NGOs, against using the compounding of a mosque in Pekan Pahang as an issue to disseminate inaccurate information. Its president, Adnan Mad, said QPACS had received complaints from its members on the issue, which resulted in a civil servant who issued the compound into becoming a victim of cyberbullying and criticism. In a statement, Adnan said such actions disrupting the duties of a civil servant who only acted to ensure the compliance of the community with the laws being enforced. He said the decision to issue the compound was made with the involvement of various government department heads, including the district Qadi, following the positive COVID-19 cases involving the members of the congregation at the mosque. Adnan also urged the Ministry of Health, Pahang Health Department or the Pekan COVID-19 Task Force Chairman to provide a proper explanation to clear the officer's name. Johor Police crippled 2 drug trafficking syndicates and seized various drugs worth 3.16 million ringgit following the arrests of 16 individuals this week. Its chief, Dato' Ayub Khan Madin Pichai, said the first case involved the arrest of 10 members of the Chuan drug trafficking syndicate, including their leader, who had been active for the past year. The arrests of the individuals aged between 21 and 51 were made through 6 raids in the district from the 20th to the 23rd of April. It follows the results of an interrogation of an arrested individual, which later led to the discovery of an ecstasy powder processing store along with a number of drugs and processing equipment.
Dengan tertangkapnya 10 suspek ini, pihak polis telah berjaya membuat rampasan 49 sebuah ekstasi bernilai 2.9 juta, 2 kilogram syabu bernilai 76,000 dan lain-lain, heroin dan sebagainya. Bernilai keseluruhan rampasan dadah adalah 3 juta.
Dato' Ayub said the modus operandi of this syndicate was to rent a gated and guarded condominium to be used as a drug processing store. Now, in the second case, he said 6 individuals comprising a local man, 4 women, and a Chinese male national, all aged 36 to 46, were arrested through 4 raids in the district in the same period. All the detained individuals are now remanded for 7 days until the 28th of April for further investigation under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Now, in Kuala Lumpur, a married couple were arrested last Thursday for alleged drug trafficking. Sentul District Police Chief ACP Bae Eng Lai said the first suspect, a 37-year-old man, was arrested at a playground in Segambut, which led to the seizure of 2.54 kilograms of ganja and 200 ringgit in his car. The man then led the police to an apartment in Bandar Sri Damansara, Petaling Jaya, where a 24-year-old woman was arrested. ACP Bae said the police also found 25.71 kilograms of ganja and 406 grams of heroin in the bedroom of the apartment. The value of the drugs seized is estimated at 75,375 ringgit.
Jumlah keseluruhan dada yang dirampas boleh dibekalkan kepada 61,380 orang pengguna dada jenis cannabis, manakala 813 orang pengguna dada jenis heroin. Kedua-dua suspek terlibat dengan aktiviti pengedaran dada selama 7 bulan.
ACP Bae said the woman tested positive for tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, following a urine test, while her husband had previous records for crime, including drug-related offences. The couple is in remand for 7 days until the 29th of April for further investigation under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Up in sport, Terengganu FC puts an end to JDT's unbeaten streak. Now, Johor Darul Takzim, or JDT's record of 21 months unbeaten came to an abrupt end after they were defeated 1-0 by Terengganu FC in the Super League action in Stadium Sultan Ibrahim Iskandar Puteri, Johor Bahru last night. JDT almost stole the show as early as the 5th minute with a shot by Bergson da Silva, but it was cleanly caught by Terengganu keeper Muhammad Suhaimi Hussein. Muhammad Suhaimi further showed his prowess by denying more attempts to score from Gonzalo Cabrera on the 25th minute and again by Roberto da Silva less than a minute later. The Turtle squad continued to pressure JDT towards the end of the first half, but an opportunity through David da Silva failed to connect despite JDT keeper Muhammad Fariz Al-Marlias being out of position. Entering the second half, the fast-paced action continues until Terengganu FC managed to capitalise on a mistake by the JDT players, resulting in their first goal for the visitors on the 56th minute by Muhammad Hakimi Abdullah. JDT pressed on to find equaliser but missed several opportunities, and the score remained 1-0 right till the end of the match. Despite this, JDT holds on to their position at the top of the league with 23 points, while Terengganu FC jumps up to second place, 2 points behind the leaders. Meanwhile, in the Premier League, Negeri Sembilan FC remain at the top of the standings after drawing 1-1 against their closest challengers, Sarawak United, at the Tuanku Abdul Rahman Stadium. Sarawak United FC bare their fangs as early as the first minute as centre player Muhammad Gopi Rizki Ramachandra opened up the scoreboard with a shot that blew past NSFC keeper Damien Chen Kai Lim. The Jang squad, on a mission to secure a victory on their home ground, were visibly under pressure as they were unable to score any goals of their own throughout the first half of the encounter. However, in the second half, K. Devon's boys patched up their offences in an effort to find an equaliser. Their aggression bore fruit on the 61st minute after Alan Thierry Okono evened out the score for the hosts with a powerful strike from outside the penalty box. Sarawak United attempted to once again find an advantage by bringing in their ace up their sleeve, Nosarul Idlan Taha, but brilliant defence by the Hobin squad managed to stop the advances of the visitors and limited the scoreboard to a 1-1 draw. Negeri Sembilan sit at the top of the table with 18 points after 9 matches, followed by Sarawak United, who have 17 points with 1 match in hand, and Kelantan United with 16 points. That wraps up today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, ASEAN leaders meeting successful in addressing Myanmar's crisis. Now join us at News at 10, coming up at 10 p.m. on Saluran Berita RTM on My Free Views channel 123. Now you can also stream the news by surfing RTM's Click. Until then, I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to TV2.